Hey guys, I'm Dov, and today I'm back with more Total War Warhammer Online action. As you can see from the Great Green Prophet here, we're going to be taking the green skins, and we are facing up against an Empire opponent. So let's go ahead and take a look at the army compositions. I haven't brought Wurrzag for a while, so I figured it's time to bring him back in. We've got him backed up by 2 Goblin Big Bosses on Spiders, with 1 unit of Orc Boar Biggins forming this kind of mobile goon squad here. We've got a front line of Savage Orcs with 1 Savage Orc Biggin on each flank. Backing them up are 2 Black Orcs, as well as the Warlord's Boys for some armor piercing and armor sundering. We've got 2 Goblin Wolf Riders out on this flank, Wolf Rider Archers rather, one of them being the Morglub's Mangy Marauders, which are a very, very good pick against the Empire in my opinion. Great armor piercing damage. They're very, very fast, have decent range, really, really nice. I've also got 2 Nasty Skulkers out here on this flank. That'll about round things off for my army. For my opponent's force, he's got a pretty decent Empire army. He's got front line of Flagellants mixed with Great Swords with the Sigmar Sons in the center, backed up by 1 unit of Halberdiers and 2 Spearmen. He's also got 1 Handgunner and 2 Crossbowmen for some ranged fire. We've got 1 unit of Reiksguard over here, and in the back he has hidden in the woods here a Jade Wizard, as well as some Demigryph Knights with Halberds. Just a regular Lord on a Griffin for the General, and 1 Captain here in the front to help give some bracing bonus. Let's see, my guess is he probably has a Hold the Line, which, nope, just the Encourage. Or, yep, he actually does have Hold the Line. Okay, so what this does is that it doesn't actually give Expert Charge Defense. It just makes them, I believe they get a better bracing bonus. I'm not 100% sure on how it works. I'll have to do some testing, but interesting. So let's go ahead and kick things off. I'm just going to be moving things up and around, so honestly we probably could have done that intro in full speed, because we are going to have to march all the way across the map here. My opponent's not going to want to move. He didn't bring any artillery, which I definitely think, you know, one cannon, one great cannon can be really, really good, especially on an open map like this against the greenskins, because, you know, you could potentially take down Wurrzag, do some damage to these boars, as well as harassing these mangy marauders. But right now, he's just flying over, doing some good scouting with his lord. However, this is going to leave him a little bit vulnerable to these mangy marauders. We're going to be able to kind of move them up and around this way and stay in front of him as he tries to come back this way. And because of their superior speed, they can, you know, continue to skirmish with him. So it'll be definitely a good situation for me. And you can see here he's going to stop for just a moment, and hopefully, yep, see there, now he's getting staggered, so he'll have a lot harder time getting away once he does get that stagger, and potentially we can even stagger lock him in place, which would be very, very nice. But it looks like he's getting on the move there. Still though, you can see that armor piercing damage doing quite a bit from the Mangy Marauders there, so very, very good. Now that's why I bring these guys against the Empire, because they can do quite a bit of damage to high value targets like the General, Reiksguard. Honestly, I would probably bring the Mangy Marauders in any matchup, to be honest. They're just, I mean, you're going to face Armored Lords almost in any matchup, even against traditionally low armor factions like the Beastmen, or against, you know, like Norska, for example. You could potentially run into Mammoths, Gorbulls, other, you know, high value, high armor targets. So I definitely recommend bringing the Mangy Marauders pretty much in any matchup. So we're going to get back now and change the focusing a little bit. We are going to get some fire in on these Flagellants, a couple shots on those Great Swords as well. Now switching over to these Reiksguard. You can see doing quite a bit of damage there. Already dropping 1 unit model there, and very good stuff. Meanwhile, I'm just bringing up my forces, kind of, you know, all together here, trying to stay in formation. And these Reiksguard are not going to be too happy about having to chase these guys off. You know, though, still only the 1 unit model dropped, but some decent HP damage done there. The Lord's already had to pop his Potion of Toughness just to heal back up, and probably going to be getting some healing from the Jade Wizard as well. So definitely having to pull out some resources there already from the Mangy Marauders, but it's all good. We're going to go ahead and fast forward for just a moment here as we bring the lines together. So we're going to get these Nasty Skulkers charging in on this flank. Flagellants are going to be bracing against the Savage Orcs coming up the center. And over here on this flank, just trying to get these Reiksguard into a decent position. So we're going to be pulling away with our Mangy Marauders and the other Wolf Riders, but I decide, you know what, Wurrzag's here. Let's go ahead and see if we can put him in place. So we're going to bring in these Wolf Rider Archers to intercept here. And because they are a cheap unit, they're definitely going to lose, but you can see a Foot of Gork template going down here. So we're definitely going to get some stompy action going. Boom! And does some huge damage to those Wolf Riders, but also decimates that unit of Reiksguard. So Very, very tough for my opponent. This is now going to allow us to get over here and get in on these Demigryph Knights with halberds. You can see the main line fight has kicked off. We got these Savages matched up on Flagellants, which is a great matchup for me. The Sigmar Sons will be able to do a little bit better, but over here on this flank, these Spearmen are going to get overwhelmed by the nasty Skulkers. We did pin the General of the Empire in place with the effigy to get, so that we could get a nice, kind of one-on-one engagement with the Demigryph Knights here. My opponent, seeing that he's lost this engagement decisively, he's going to pull up a very nice Dwellers from below. That's pretty much going to destroy this unit of Orc Warboy Biggins, who's otherwise still pretty healthy. But, Wurrzag and his 2 Gobbo henchmen are definitely going to be able to get away from that relatively unscathed, so that's okay. Across the line, we're having some issues with the leadership of the Savage Orcs, which is to be expected, but they have done quite a bit of damage. The General of the Empire coming down in here are going to terrify off these Savages. However, the Black Orcs are fine to hold in here. They're going to be doing their great armor-piercing damage up against these Great Swords, and with the Warlord's Boys in here centering their armor as well, they're going to do that much more damage, and you can see the Spearmen are already collapsing on this flank. Those nasty Skulkers getting in on the crossbowmen, giving them a good shanking. Definitely love those guys. Over here on this flank, we've got this Lord a little bit isolated on the ground here. We're going to be using the big bosses to screen from Wurrzag. We are actually dropping a Fist of Gork on this big boss, and those two, combined with the fire from the Mangy Marauders who are parked over here, is going to be enough to finish off this General of the Empire. So you can see him now going down to that very, very nice armor-piercing missile fire. I absolutely love these Mangy Marauders. They were very, very clutch in this game. So now we're going to be switching Wurrzag over onto these crossbowmen. However, it's still a very dangerous situation. We do have this Jade Wizard here, who I know has Dwellers of Below, and definitely could potentially get a really nice cast like in this pocket here and just destroy a ton of my troops. So to try and prevent that, we're going to get those 2 Goblin Big Bosses in here, ready to assassinate this Jade Wizard, and you can see he's trying to cast spells here, but because he's getting continuously knocked down and knocked around by these Big Bosses, he's not able to actually cast his spells. So it's very good for me. You can see the template will kind of pop in and out here for the Dwellers of Below. You can see there it is popping in, but because we knock him over, he doesn't get the cast off. So definitely good at preventing that counterplay there. He could have potentially come back in the fight if he was able to get off a good cast. But at this point, pretty much all the non-unbreakable units have shattered due to army losses. Just these Sigmar Sons remain, as well as these Flagellants. So very well played to my opponent. We'll kind of take in the battlefield here as the... it's a little bit of a long fight, marching all the way across the map, but usually greenskins, once you get in there, you'll win or lose pretty quickly. It generally is a very quick fight when it comes to greenskins, so well played to my opponent. Definitely had a lot of fun with that one. It's been too long since we've had a good Wurrzag replay, so figured you guys would enjoy that. Unfortunately, no dancing Wurrzag just because he's on the board, but still. Got some good Foot of Gork action, nice effigy to get. Very useful, I would say. Unfortunately, he's just a little bit squishy. In that respect, Azag is, arguably better or a Lord up on a Manticore just because they have better escapability to a degree. But Wurrzag definitely with the effigy to get, and that's Foot of Gork and everything. It's definitely a force to be reckoned with. So very fun battle. For my opponent, I'm not a huge fan of demis with halberds. If he'd cut these guys and got, maybe some more density of cavalry, I think it would have been a little bit better. Same with the great swords. Generally, these guys are not super cost effective just because they're a little bit pricey for what they do, especially against the greenskins who have excellent infantry. I would probably cut these guys and go with something a little bit cheaper, so then you could get more cavalry. And if he had a cavalry superiority, I wouldn't have been able to use Wurrzag quite as aggressively. So definitely an interesting counterplay there. But hope you guys enjoyed. If you like this kind of content, like and subscribe. I've got more Total War content coming every day, so keep it right here for more, and we'll see you next time.